and we can check to see that it works. The LED bulb is on all the cars as well, and that automatically, like, it will throw codes through the light if there's an issue as well. Here's a look at my security system part under the hood. This normally just has a little plug like inside of it to delete it for the time being to keep the plug clean. So this piece I added on there, that bracket, and there's a screw down under there. So all those pieces just connect in there and then you plug it in. That's pretty easy. I'm gonna put this alarm system in my car. From what I researched online, they're all these BMWs are wired for the alarm system. They're just not installed. This plug was just sitting right here, plugged into nothing. It sits right here. It's got these little clips that hold it in. So I'll plug that in, snap that back together. And I had to remove it by, I had to pull it back and open it that way. And that's how I got that out. I unplugged this to get all that to fit in there, but it just snaps right into place. That plugs right into place. And then I'm gonna push this back in. Yeah, I think that will work better. Just push it like that. But I had better luck removing it the opposite way. I pulled down on this. So I'm right here at the driver's side rear quarter panel. I've got 3 studs I can put nuts on for my bracket. Here's the wiring that plugs into my speaker, and there's a little clip there to plug that in or connect it somewhere, I guess. I need to undo this little tape here. So that just goes up there. This bolts to the bracket. They included the bolts, so that should work pretty good. It plugs in right there. We'll see how this fits together. We got the bracket installed. Those nuts were 6mm by 1.0 or M6 by 1.0. I just happen to have a couple set, and those bolts were included with my kit, so I'm just going to install those. There's a little hole in the bracket right there. That's for this clip to just connect in there to hold up the wiring. I got the speaker tucked up in there. It took me a while. I'm not sure if I was supposed to do this, but I added in my fuses for what I thought was for the alarm. No, 5 and 19. I don't know if that's right or not, but anyway, I did put those in there. Number 20 and number 5 fuses there, which is supposedly 19 and or 5 and 19. It classifies those as 14 and 29 for some reason. I put them in there anyway. The alarm still works. I didn't take them out to see if it works without it though. Not sure. But I would think you would need to put your alarm fuses in there. So I've got the Bimmer Pro Tool hooked up. This is a C-port adapter to go to USB to the CAN cable. Got the Bimmer Pro Tool app on here. This is a tablet. It's called ONN. I've heard people call it ONI. I guess you can call it ON. I don't know. As soon as you log in, you'll notice that it now has alarm here, alarm siren. So now what you need to do is you go to your coding and you have to turn on the alarm functions. There's other different settings in here that you can change, like you can change the different sounds of your alarm. They have a US version, Great Britain, and European. Go through here and make sure you get all the coding correct. Some of these, they don't really apply, but you might have to go to expert too to find different things. See, there's the ultrasonic parameters that deals with some of the parts we just installed. There's the panic alarm. So if you want that, you need to choose that. The way that works is you can press, I think you hold one of the lock, maybe the lock button for 3 seconds or something, and the alarm will cut on. Some of these I'm not familiar with, hotel mode and that kind of stuff. The tilt sensor, enable that because that's the sensor under the hood. There's your ultrasonic monitor. That's the one we put in on the underneath the headliner. These other things, these are just options. The visual alarm, so when you click to turn the alarm on or the alarm is engaged, it will flash the hazards. There's a couple options like this. You have the sound option, so you could turn the sound off. Just go through and select all the options that you want. There's 2 different alarm sections here, so that's one. And it has a section to test the alarm too, just on here, so you don't have to like pull the trunk open and all that stuff. The reason I can trip the alarm with the trunk is because I don't have the trunk set to lock when I press the lock button, but the alarm will go off if I do that. Okay, so this is some other coding here. I'm just going to go back. And then you can read your error codes too. So if there's an issue with your alarm modules, it will show up here. So that's pretty much everything you need to know about setting up the alarm system. You can do it right from this module. You don't even have to go to the dealer anymore. There's also a remote engine start option underneath the alarm. So I'm not really sure how that would work. I'd need to do some more research before I turn that on. I don't want to try to starting the car and stuff when I'm not meaning to, because I don't know how that works just yet. Here's the setting for the different sounds. So there's USA, Europe, Great Britain, and you can have a custom one. So mine was on Great Britain, but I guess I'll just change it back to USA. I'm kind of curious what the Europe one sounds like. So I got to this through sound parameters, I think, or either siren and tilt sensor. Just click on them. Just click on them, go through the options and find out what you like. Don't change stuff that you don't really know what you're changing. So when you're done selecting your options, click finalize, and then it'll ask you to cycle your ignition. And then you're done.